Hi, good morning. Welcome to Coffee with Me. I'm Susan B Lochocki, running for President of the United States as a write-in, and this is my temporary kitchen. Welcome. So I'm still, it's Memory Monday, and August 24th. And I just want to say I'm still looking for land or something to purchase. As you know, I didn't get the one that I wanted, and so that's a little disappointing. But anyway, I'm surviving. So today is another day, and I'll go forth and see what I can find out, or we'll see what today brings. I also need to trim and brush Minnie. She's looking pretty scary right now and very furry, so I got to take care of that too. All right. So my memory today is from my visit to the Navajo Nation earlier this year, back in February and March. It's, perhaps time to talk about Native Americans and their plight for justice, equality, and basic human rights. So when I was there, I have to admit the Wi-Fi connection was really poor. In fact, outside of buildings, you didn't have any. And they didn't have well-paved roads or all sorts of things. A lot of dirt roads, in fact. So for me, I'm not sure. I try to keep an open mind and wonder if that's what the people want for sure, or if they want things a little bit differently, because different cultures prioritize different things, and so I try not to assume anything. But after meeting with a fellow from the government there, it became apparent that yes, there were lots of issues. One of them too is there's a lot of kidnapping and rape and murder of Native American women and girls. And as you know, women's issues are really on the forefront for me. This is unfortunate, and it's not acceptable. So I have some more TED Talks that I'm going to share with you. I've already shared a few over the past month, and yesterday I shared a really important one, I would say. So if you haven't looked at it, you should. Then in the video, in that TED Talk that I shared yesterday, the guy talks about having to get together and have a meeting, and I agree with that. I think it's time to get together and talk. He suggests one on race, gender, and class, and I think that these are very important issues. I will say that, as far as race goes, we are actually talking only about one human race now. We just happen to have people who have different colored of skin. So, some people have darker skin, some people have lighter skin, but it's one race. We're not different. And because you speak Spanish doesn't mean that you're also a different race. You might have a different culture, yes, but race, no. So it's not really a race talk we want to have. What we want to have is a talk about hate, and a talk about cultures, and a talk about coming together. That's what we want to do there. Then we have the gender issue, and we don't just have two genders, really. I showed you about 2 months ago images of what you can find online. There are more than two genders. There's more than just men and women. So we need to come to terms with that too, and we need to have that discussion. Now, I don't know how many different genders, doctors have or what they write down. Perhaps we need to address that first. I guess I need to consult with some doctors on that. But for right now, we can say men, women, and rainbow, and that includes all the variations of people out there. People who are born naturally with both sex organs in various sizes or whatever, and then people who are in transition or who are in transition from one sex to the other. So I think, we have a lot of discussion to do there too. And then class. I think, whenever there's a huge gap between the classes is when we see a lot of riots. Not peaceful protesters. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about riots. Because people are frustrated and angry. And you know what? I don't blame them. Because when half the U.S. is experiencing something and the other half is having a totally different reality, that's not appropriate. And for some reason, it's getting worse. It's not getting better. So we need to close that gap. We need to bring it together. And that's where I think my mother's pay comes in and my father's pay comes in. I think these things can really help to bridge that gap. Or, as you know, my other concept is to go forward without any money, which I think we're ready to do. With some training, I think it's definitely possible. And that way, everybody has the right to everything. So, for me, I cannot be silent anymore on these issues. I have to bring this stuff to your attention. The other thing I want to say, exploitation of people and animals and the earth. That's the problem. I'm glad right now we're focusing on the U.S. Thank you, Donald Trump, that we're doing that. And globalization has temporarily, it hasn't completely halted, but it's slowed way down. So yes, we are focusing on the U.S., which is what we need to do. And that's great. Okay. So, I'm looking forward to that conversation. I hope to be the one to have it. Or at least be invited. But I would like to be the organizer. So anyways, that is me. I'm having a tough time figuring out what song I want for today. I don't know. Oh, and my women of the day. I have to go over that too. So here we go. I'm going to mispronounce her name because I haven't been living in the U.S. for a long time, so I don't know all the... But it's Shoshoni. No, I know I said it wrong. I'm sorry. So, anyway. So, Shoshoni, and as soon as I know it, I'll say it properly. Name means bird woman. Oh boy, lots of Native American words. Shoshoni Indian. She was born in 1787, in Idaho. Enemy Indians captured her and sold her as a slave to a French Canadian trader. Toussaint Char, and my French is not good either, Charbonneau, whom she married in 1804 by Indian rights. She and her baby accompanied her husband on the Lewis and Clark expedition. Her communication skills with the Indians, as well as her ability to care for the sick and find food ensured success for the explorers. According to one account, she died on the Missouri River in 1812. So her major accomplishments were American Indian woman, interpreter for Lewis and Clark expedition. Her communications with the Indians along the explorers' route ensured the journey's success. Instrumental in getting help from the Shoshoni Indians. Showed extraordinary courage and determination during the difficult expedition between 1804 and 1806. Okay, so she was their guide and helped them. You know, I've decided I'm gonna go with the song "I Got You, Babe" by Sonny and Cher. Because recently I had a discussion with someone who said in their hometown when they were growing up, this was, like 80 years ago, they didn't have any black people living there, no Indians were living there, but they had an Italian family that was living there. And that was the exotic part of their town. The Italians were moving in. So with that note, that was only 80-ish years ago, somewhere in the United States, in a small town, but in a town nevertheless. So those are the things we're dealing with, These are the memories that people have. All right. I wish you all a wonderful day. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great one.